Live from the News Hub here in Accra, this is News 360. Good evening and welcome. I am Issa Moni.
And I'm Natalie Fort. A look at the top stories this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by...
Two persons suspected to have masterminded last Sunday's attack on the Asunafo South MP Eric Opoku arrested.
Deputy General Secretary of NDC, Koku Anyidoho, reports at the offices of the police CID as investigations into his alleged treasonable comments continue.
Also ahead this evening, the electricity company assures customers recent tariff reductions will be realized after subsequent recharge of meters and payment of bills from April 1.
And in business, persons and corporate entities without tax identification numbers to find it impossible to conduct official business and access some basic public services.
And in sports this evening, Team Ghana fired up to win laurels as Commonwealth Games begin tomorrow in Gold Coast, Australia.
And international news tonight, Zambian government issues 7-day ultimatum to Cuban Ambassador Nelson Pagis Vias to leave the country. We have details including sports and entertainment coming up this hour. Stay with us as we bring you the details. Now, two persons suspected to have masterminded last Sunday's attack on the Asunafo South Member of Parliament, Eric Opoku, and 3 others have been arrested by the police. The suspects, Kobne Champon and Yao Boache, have since been transferred from Sankore to Sunyain for further investigations. Eric Opoku, the Member of Parliament for Asunafo South, was attacked Sunday dawn at his residence at Sankore in the Asunafo region. The attackers, believed to be sympathizers of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, as alleged by Eric Opoku, also attacked and injured 3 other persons, all members of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, that same evening. They also vandalized vehicles in the MP's compound, making it the second time such an incident has happened in the MP's house. And the Chief Superintendent, Nanaku Kudia, is the Asunafo Regional Crime Officer and joins me via phone tonight. Good evening, Chief, if you can hear us.
Good evening to you, my brother, and good evening to your choice viewers.
All right, so the police has made 2 arrests. And are there other persons you suspect might have been involved in the attack?
Yes, we are looking for about 7 or 8 people as the complainant alleged were the people behind the attack.
Right, since this is not the first time the MP's residence has been attacked, and it happened, I remember, somewhere around December. Has the police been giving the MP enough security?
Oh, yes. Since the previous season, we have been giving security. Even before then, the police were providing security to the MP, not the MP alone. All the residents of Sankore, you know, the place is very notorious for this thing. So we have been providing security for all of them.
Right, so we know we want the police to investigate this matter without, looking at political coloration, even though those allegations have been made by the Member of Parliament. Are you able to detach your investigations from the politics?
Oh, yes, we are not looking at the political side of the issue. A crime has been committed, so our concentration is on the crime that has been committed, but not the political party members who are alleged to have committed that crime.
All right, Chief Superintendent Nanaku Kudia, we are very grateful for your time and thank you for speaking to us tonight.
Let's turn to some other stories this evening as the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Koku Anidohu, reported to the police CID in Accra today over his alleged treasonable comments. His lawyer, Victor Kojoga Adawudu, later in an interview said his client will cooperate with the police as it continues with its investigations.
The embattled NDC Deputy General Secretary Koku Anidohu reported to the police CID headquarters in the company of 3 persons at 10:47 Tuesday morning. Later, his lawyer Victor Kojoga Adawudu also reported. The closed meeting with the police ended in about 20 minutes. Counsel for Koku Anidohu, Victor Kojoga Adawudu, later briefed the media.
As part of the bail conditions that was granted Thursday, we were to report today at 11. We've seen the top echelon of the police CID. The information is still that they are conducting their investigations. Let's allow them. This is a professional institution. We should not stampede them. And they said anytime they are ready, they will call us back. But they are doing further investigation. No, they have our details. They know us, they know the sureties. So anytime they have some difficulty in the investigation, they will call us.
He said his client is still being investigated.
As at now, he's being investigated for treason. He's not been charged. Okay. He's not been charged. They are investigating to see that that offense that they have seen, that the investigation will support it. If they investigate and they have compelling evidence, then they will now charge us. That's the procedure. So when you are arrested, statement is taken, that is an investigative statement. Then after the investigation and they've got any evidence, then they will charge you with any offense that it will support. The facts will support that charge.
Victor Adawudu added, Koku can comment on any national issue but not on the alleged treasonable comments, and promised they will not impede on the process. He further indicated Koku's movement has not been restricted, adding he will avail himself as and when he is invited.
In communicating, we may learn our lessons, the choice of word we will use. But we are very confident that we have not committed anything.
We understand some gadgets of his were seized. Have they been given back to him?
To the best of my knowledge, no gadget of his has been seized. What I can only say is that whilst we were talking, chatting, I think one of our phones is with a police officer. Nobody has seized any gadget or any laptop and others. No, we are yet to have it.
Koku Anidohu was arrested last Tuesday over an alleged treasonable comments. He was detained for 2 days and granted bail on Thursday.
Now let's move to Weja and Gbawe. There was no service agreement in 2012 between the government of Ghana and the Canadian firm Nonometric, which supplied Ghana's earthquake transmission equipment. The breakdown of the equipment prevented the Ghana Geological Survey Authority from making accurate readings for the series of earth tremors which hit parts of Weja and Gbawe 2 weeks ago.
A series of tremors on March 24 hit part of Gbawe, Anya, McCarthy Hills and Weja, prompting experts to predict an imminent earthquake. According to the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, the magnitude of the tremor could not be ascertained due to a break in transmission lines. A senior seismologist at the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, Nicholas Opoku, said it has taken the authority several days to gather data from remote sites to be able to tell the exact magnitude recorded.
If you have a problem with transmission and something happens, you have to go and retrieve the data. So that is why during the Easter, we did not enjoy the Easter. We have to go round the stations to retrieve the data so that we can give information about this earthquake that occurred to the general public.
Nicholas Opoku revealed there was no service agreement when government procured seismic equipment in 2012.
These equipments are not ordinary equipments you can find in the market, whereby if you have a breakdown, you can easily go and buy. You need to have a good service agreement with the provider so that whenever there is any problem, they can assist you to address it.
Experts have warned Ghana is not ready for an earthquake disaster.
Let's now turn to healthcare, as the Youth Employment Agency will facilitate the transition of personnel under the health model into health training institutions. The chief executive of the agency, Justin Kodia, made this known at the launch of an exit plan for beneficiaries under the agency. 19,000 personnel under the health model have completed their 2-year program.
The beneficiaries are expected to upgrade themselves to the certificate, diploma or degree levels and be absorbed by the Ghana Health Service. Those who cannot meet the enrollment requirement, according to the YEA, would be assisted to set up businesses. During their working period, welfare and insurance funds were deducted from their allowance to assist them after they have exited. The CEO of YEA, Justin Kodia, said the accrued funds within the 2 years of work would be refunded to them.
Since we started the program, 50 cedis were deducted from your allowance, whereby 5 cedis was for insurance and 45 cedis as welfare fund. All those who will be exiting, that money shall be given to them to assist them in either purchasing funds to their various nursing training colleges and also as a startup capital for those who want to be on their own.
He said the YA had secured an agreement with the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana to recruit beneficiaries. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Nsiansare, commended the agency.
I think that is going to even assist us because most of them are from districts. They will be in their own districts, they understand the language, they understand the culture of the people, and when you post them, they will not come and tell you, my mother has a stroke in Kolebu, so I want to stay in Accra.
Deputy Minister of Health, Sina Mensah, who launched the exit plan, renewed government's pledge on job creation.
Although these beneficiaries have had some training and have been made to serve in their designated communities for 2 years, they still require additional skills and expertise.
The community nurses who have been trained in reproductive child health and immunization are expected to assist the Ghana Health Service in the screening of 1.3 million basic and senior high students.
Now let's do some more stories tonight. And the Adangwomase Kinte Weavers and Sellers Association has appealed to government to consider the Kinte industry when executing the One District, One Factory initiative. The group was at the presidency to present President Akufo-Addo a designed woven Kinte Osiadiayo for fulfilling 3 major campaign promises.
The 3 major promises, according to the association, are the free SHS, restoration of nurses' allowance, and the setting up of the office of the special prosecutor. The group encouraged the president to execute the rest of the promises, including the One District, One Factory initiative.
We aimed at honoring Your Excellency Nana Addo to continue working hard to fulfill One District, One Factory and One Village, One Dam political campaign promise made to help create millions of meaningful jobs, especially for the youths in the country. The hand-weaving Kinte industry is one area hundreds of meaningful jobs can be created for the youths in the country through the One District, One Factory initiative, which your high office can take into consideration.
President Akufo-Addo thanked the members of the association for their gesture and reiterated government resolve to improve the economy.
Papa no war. The papa no say nobody abrami. Yeah, the damase and the massive. A jumana nam who say mo abaso no. A juma ehia ema man koso.
The work ahead is crucial for the development of the country, and government is poised to do more to improve the living conditions of the Ghanaian.
Well, you're still live here on News 360. Let's take a look at our MTN Video reports this evening, as Dalafu Paul Noja reports, and he has a story from the Agbogloshi area here in Accra.
This This road is about 4 kilometers from Abogosi to Abosokan Central Mosque in the Central Business District. The road has been a major road connecting the two cities without alternative roads. It plays a key role when it comes to economic activities in transportation. The road has been in a poor condition over decades without maintenance. Squatters who are not able to afford hiring a store in the market has no option but settle along the road with tables or bare grounds to sell. The deplorable state of the road affects economic activities in the area, and if not checked, will halt the business activity in the area. The gutters has become a site for refuse collection and unlawful car park, causing both human and vehicular traffic and flooding when it rains. With little drop of water this morning, one could see how muddy the road is and unmotorable, and has become unmotorable and muddy. Some of the traders who sells along the roadside also complain they have to wash their products more than 4 to 3 times before their customers come to buy them, or they risk their money in loss.
Rare type of reporting skills from Paul Nyoja. I really love that. I think everybody should contribute to that. Yes, you can also send your video report via WhatsApp, and the number is 055-1433-044.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at what's still ahead tonight. Electricity company assures customers recent tariff reductions will be realized after subsequent recharge of meters and payment of bills from April 1.
And in business, persons and corporate entities without tax identification numbers to find it impossible to conduct official business and access some basic public services.
Also ahead in sports this evening, Team Ghana fired up to win laurels as Commonwealth Games begin tomorrow in Gold Coast, Australia.
And in international news, Zambian government issues 7-day ultimatum to Cuban Ambassador Nelson Pages Villas to leave the country.
Welcome back to News 360. Let's now take some business news this evening. And top on the news, persons and corporate entities without tax identification numbers will soon find it impossible to conduct official business and access some basic public services in the country from today, April 3. The move forms part of efforts by the Ghana Revenue Authority to scale up tax compliance and broaden the tax net.
The Revenue Administration Act 2016 mandates the Commissioner General to set up a taxpayer identification numbering system for the purpose of identification of taxpayers and promoting tax compliance. The aim is to broaden the tax net by capturing potential taxpayers and afford the Revenue Administration the ability to monitor all transactions entered into by taxpayers. Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Emmanuel Kofi Inti, said one cannot clear goods at the port, register land documents with the Lands Commission, obtain a tax clearance certificate from the GRA, open a bank account, register a company with the Registrar General's Department, obtain payment for jobs or contracts done for government, file a case at the courts, obtain a passport, obtain a driver's license, and register a vehicle at the DVLA, bid for contract from government agencies, and conduct business with ministries, departments, and agencies if he or she does not have the tax identification number.
We are rolling out a platform where those who will be sitting the SSE may, even before you see the SSE, you would have had a thing. And so that we will be coming down over time, and we're broadening up the scope. So we are exploring all opportunities to widen the tax net. We are in contact with the banks and I'm working with them to ensure that all their bank account holders, to the extent that they are potential taxpayers, are having a TIN number. As your check gets finished and go for a replacement, they may be in contact with you to update your records with them and provide the TIN for them.
He said the registration of the tax identification number is ongoing and it comes at no cost to the applicant.
At the end of the day, the national identification number will become the most important number in the country. The TIN number will be in the portal within the national identification number. But once we've not gotten there, we need our money. And so we need our taxpayers to be properly identified, their transactions well known, and then the country is able to raise the revenue to support the agenda that government has set for itself.
The GRA has issued 1,338 TIN numbers since 2011.
Now, this development has many shaken, and as you saw there, from today, this TIN number is going to be practically the most important ID or the most important identification number in the country, because the services that are going to be available will be reduced or would be absolutely impossible without having this tax identification number. Now, I'm going to run us by these services and what is not going to be accessible without having the TIN. Now, filing a case at the courts is going to be impossible for persons and corporate entities without a TIN number. Obtaining a passport from the passport office is going to be impossible. Obtaining a driver's license is impossible without a TIN number. Registering a vehicle at the DVLA is impossible without the tax identification number. And the bid for a contract from government agencies is impossible as well. Conducting business with the ministries, with departments and agencies of government is also impossible. This goes to show the significance of the card. You saw in the story earlier that the government does still require its money, and so all these services are not going to be available or accessible to individuals and companies without the TIN. Clearing goods from the ports, registering land documents with the Lands Commission is impossible as well. Obtaining a tax clearance certificate, opening a bank account is impossible without the TIN, and registering a company with the Registrar General's Department and obtaining payments for jobs is all impossible. So it's clear that, simply put, from today, this TIN number is a must-have by each and every Ghanaian in the country, or else practically everything, almost everything, is absolutely impossible and is not accessible. So that's the significance of the TIN number there. But let's move on to some other business stories this evening. The atomic junction near Medina is now back to life with commercial activities gradually picking up. 5 months after a gas explosion in the area claimed 8 lives. However, traders say they are yet to recoup their losses.
Such smooth vehicular movement here at Atomic Junction near Medina was not guaranteed 5 months ago after a gas explosion claimed 8 lives and left 134 others injured. The police and NADMO have since made a permanent post here. The gas filling station at the center of the explosion is still covered, but part of the land has been given to commercial drivers who used to operate opposite the filling station as loading bay.
The explosion,
till we secured this place belonging to the owner of the filling station, we went through a lot of hardships after the explosion. Business is gradually improving.
At least a year. I think so.
But traders here say it hasn't been easy. Some had to stay home for as long as 3 months before gaining the financial strength to set up. 2 months on after resumption of business, they are still hoping that things will get better.
I had lots of boxes of the fruits, but I lost everything. Most people don't know we are back, so they hardly come here to buy from us.
After station Saturday, and I'm 50 million.
I used to have savings with the drivers here, so I had been given 5,000 Ghana cedis off my savings, and I lost that together with my phone and all the fruits I had on display here. The market has not been any better since I resumed.
It appears virtually every trader in the enclave is back to business, but the kebab seller, who was alleged to be the cause of the fire, could not be found. It is not clear what the land for the filling station would be used for next, since local authorities have advised that the place is not suitable for siting of a filling station.
Now, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry says Ghana stands to increase its trade portfolio by 20% if government provides subsidies for business. At a news conference in Tema, President of the Chamber, Nana Dr. Appiagyei Duncan Wusu I, noted businesses' profit margin could increase by 15% if measures are properly implemented.
According to the Chamber, over 70% of small businesses and retail shops in the country stock foreign products, with only 20% being locally made goods. This trend, the president of the Chamber noted, is worrying, citing the need to promote local businesses. He stressed the need for government to support small-scale businesses by providing tax incentives and reduce interest rates, which is eroding their profits.
Ghana is noted with the highest banking lending rate, which is 35.5% in Africa, and second to Brazil, which is 55.06% in the world, according to the Trading Economics. Businesses are compelled to access short-term credit with high interest rates for their long-term investments. We cannot continue undermining the competitiveness of these businesses and eroding their profits with high interest rates.
He said the Chamber wants a successful implementation of the electricity tariff reduction, which will ease the cost of doing business and bring relief to business.
We encourage government to ensure an efficient and energy sector along the various channels of power production, transmission, and distribution sustained by reliable power supply.
The Chamber also wants government to sustain policies which can boost their businesses.
And that's how we round up the business news this evening on News 360. Visit our website, it's 3news.com, for some more business stories. On to you, Isa.
Thank you, Natalie, and let's do some more stories. The electricity company says customers will realize the tariff reductions after subsequent recharge of meters and payment of bills from April 1. The General Manager of Public Relations of ECG, William Watson, who gave the assurance, said there was the need to allow the programming of the billing system to take effect.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, rolled out tariff reduction as directed by the Public Relations Regulatory Commission, PURC, last month. There was a 17.5% reduction for residential consumers, 30% for non-residential, 25% for industries and 10% for mines. The reduction was, however, delayed from March 15 to April 1 to coincide with the ECG's monthly billing cycle.
We programmed the system and we implemented it from the 15th of March. But it's a process. It's not a one-day issue or event. So come April, when you go for the first time to purchase or to deposit cash for electricity, purchase the electricity, the system will capture your consumption. It will aggregate all your consumption for the month of March. Then it will start do the proration, start do the calculation for you, the numbers. When you come the second time, it will then give you a refund of the reduction from the 15th of March to 31st of March. That's about 17 days.
William Boating further explained that the addition of statutory levies and other fixed charges will reduce the percentage relief.
The new tariff regime is running as I speak. The reduction is running. When you go to our offices, we have the recorder there clearly, and we are still monitoring, but so far so good. On the prepaid, the postpaid will come based on the billing cycle.
ECG has catalogued all unit consumption and expected cost in a reckoner, which clearly explains how the tariff is calculated and billed, regardless of the type of metering. This will soon be displayed at all vending offices and revenue collection centres nationwide to guide consumers on their electricity purchase.
You're watching News 360 from the News Hub at Adesawe Kante. I've got some sports news for you coming up shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back to News 360. On the international front this evening, the Zambian government has issued a 7-day ultimatum to Cuban Ambassador Nelson Villas to leave the country. Mr. Villas angered the government after attending a launch of opposition Socialist Party headed by Fred Membe, a journalist turned politician. 7 opposition leaders in Tanzania have been freed on bail following their arrest last week. The Chadema party politicians are facing charges of sedition and incitement to violence and are scheduled to reappear in court on April 16. The charges are connected to a demonstration in Dar es Salaam in February, which led to the death of a student who was allegedly killed by a stray bullet while police were dispersing protesters. As part of the bail conditions, the 7 opposition politicians have to report to the Central Police Station in Dar es Salaam every Friday. Chadema chairman Freeman Mbowe, who was among those arrested, told the media he used to think the country had a petty dictatorship, but now the country has a full dictatorship, saying they'll talk and clarify more at the right time. Critics of the government say it is part of an ongoing crackdown to freedom of expression in Tanzania. France's rail network has been severely disrupted as a wave of strikes against President Emmanuel Macron's labor reforms gets underway. The start of the strike has been dubbed Black Tuesday, but the action will spread over 3 months, affecting 2 days in every 5. Staff at the State Railway SNCF are leading the strike, but the energy and waste collection sectors are also affected. The unrest presents Mr. Macron's biggest challenge since his election last May. The union says some of the plans to overhaul the heavily indebted SNCF would pave the way for its privatization.
You're watching News 360, and this one just coming in. 2 suspects, a 65-year-old retired field technician and a 42-year-old physician assistant, are in the custody of the police following the death of 4 patients who allegedly died through injection. 2 of the deceased are currently at the Volta River Authority Hospital mortuary, whilst 1 is also at the Akuse Government Hospital and the 4th at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The Eastern Region Police PRO, Ebenezer Tete, says his outfit is making efforts to get a certified report from heads of the 3 health facilities. And we have ASP Ebenezer Tete on the line already to speak to us from the Eastern Region. Good evening, Chief, and thank you for agreeing to speak to us.
Good evening.
What more can you tell us? What has the police gathered in their investigation?
So far, we have arraigned them before court today. They were remanded into custody to enable us to continue with the investigations that we have commenced. It's a death, it's an unnatural death case, and the allegation is that the 2 persons who are behind bars now were those responsible for the injection. We have to do thorough and proper investigations. That accounts for the reasons why we have remanded them into our custody so that we'll continue with the investigation. Aside the investigation that we are conducting, the Regional Health Directorate is also assisting. They have dispatched a group of medical investigators to also conduct their side of the investigation so that conclusively we can build a watertight case and present them in court so that we either gain conviction or if they are able to exonerate themselves, the court will acquit and discharge them. So that is where we have gotten to now. The 2 suspects, the 65-year-old man and the 45-year-old physician assistant, are in police custody, and they are to reappear in 2 weeks' time for the case to continue.
So are you accusing them for a deliberate act?
The complaints by the relatives of the deceased persons are that they reported at the facility and they were given a penicillin injections, and just after the injections were given, they started exhibiting some strange symptoms. They were rushed to Akuse. 2 of them died there. Subsequently, 1 was referred to Kolebu in critical condition. The information just coming in yesterday indicate that 1 of them also died at the regional hospital in Ho. So it is based on the reports that we have effected the arrest of the 2 persons who are responsible for the injection, and we are investigating the matter.
So what other investigations have you been able to conduct at the new Kinte Health Center? Or it appears to you this is a one-off accidental situation?
The other leg of the investigation is the team of investigators from the Regional Health Directorate. I told you, since it has to do with a drugs issue, we don't have the competency. So the Regional Health Directorate is assisting us. Samples of the things that will be taken will also be sent to the FDA for analysis. Post-mortem examination will also be done so that the actual cause of death is determined. Because as we speak now, it is being alleged that it is the injection that was given to them. We have not been conclusively be able to establish that per the post-mortem examination, it is this that killed them. So if the post-mortem result comes out, it will also assist us to also, chart a certain cause. But since it is a murder case, we have to do the proper thing by not keeping them behind bars for more than 48 hours. That is why we went to court today and have them remanded so that we can continue with the investigation. Since we have not concluded investigation, we have provisionally charged them for murder and we'll present the case in court at the next agenda so that the trial will continue.
Right. ASP Ebenezer Tete, Eastern Region Police PR, we are grateful for your time, and he was speaking to us on the death of 4 patients who allegedly died through injection at the new Kinte Health Center. Up next is some entertainment news. And to begin with, award-winning rapper Sarkodie has assured his fans that he is fit a day after he escaped in an accident and hurt. Disturbed by the accident, fans flooded his Facebook timeline with well-wishing messages whilst thanking God for saving him.
Sarkodie and his team were to perform at a concert organized by High Life legend Amachidede in his Achim Agogo hometown. The rapper was ushered into a saloon car, which later drove him away. Sarkodie did not travel by road from Accra to Kumasi as speculated. The multiple award-winning act and his team boarded a flight from Accra to Kumasi and were welcomed at the airport by Amachidede. Team SAC was transiting via road from the Garden City to Amachidede's hometown, Achim Agogo, when their car veered off the road after a collision. In spite of the accident, the visibly traumatized rapper continued the journey. Hours after the accident, Sarkodie assured his worried fans that he was fine, signaling his readiness to perform. He posted on his Facebook timeline, "Touchdown in Agogo to support my dad, the legend Amachidede." Reacting to the news, his fans wished him well and thanked God for sparing his life.
God is in control.
A post on the award-winning rapper's timeline on Tuesday morning read, "Last night was pure madness with the people of Agogo. They didn't start too well, but one energy I try never to entertain is the negative one. God keep us all safe."
Well, that's good news there for Sarkodie that he remained unhurt in that accident. But in some more entertainment news this evening, fast-rising Afrobeat star and Odo hitmaker Kiddy was a delight to watch as he entertained thousands of revelers at the Onya FM Easter Jekiti Bash. Held on Monday night at the Jekiti Lakeside, the bash climaxed the 2018 Easter experience.
The headline act and Lynx Entertainment's darling boy, Kiddy, looked amazing on stage.
You're dancing me!
The charged crowd seemed to have come well prepared as they passionately sang along with him throughout his time on stage. Kiddy's 2017 mega hit Odo was the much anticipated anthem for the night. patrons left excited, applauding Onia FM for making their Easter experience a memorable one.
If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, and you.
Well, looks exciting. JKT was very exciting. It's clear.
I'm sure they did something wonderful this Easter. So let's look at the top stories before we finally wind up on News 360 tonight. 2 persons suspected to have masterminded last Sunday's attack on the Asunafo South Member of Parliament, Erukopoku, have been arrested.
Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Koku Anidohu, reported to the police CID as investigations into his alleged treasonable comments continue.
Electricity company has assured customers recent tariff reductions will be realized after subsequent recharge of meters and payment of bills from April 1.
In business, persons and corporate entities without tax identification numbers to find it impossible to conduct official business and access some basic public services.
And in sports, Team Ghana fired up to win laurels as Commonwealth Games begin tomorrow in Gold Coast, Australia.
And on the foreign front, Zambian government has issued 7-day ultimatum to Cuban Ambassador Nelson Villas to leave the country.
And it's been nice bringing you news from around the world and around the clock on News 360. My name is Issa Moni.
I'm Natalie Force. Visit our website, 3news.com, for some more news. Remember, news at 10 will simulcast on our sister station. It's 3FM 92.7. Coming up next is Sadia. Have a pleasant evening.